Welcome to Meaningful Morning. This week I've shared with you Sanatana Dharma can be understood well by understanding Bhagavad Gita's chapter 4 well. I'd also shared with you that some of our sessions had to be re-recorded to make sure all of chapter 4 is tight for this to be released on our YouTube channel. In one of the re-recordings, I'd begun with encouraging everyone, encouraging you to appreciate the ability to learn and the availability to learn. Please reflect on this. The ability to learn, if you didn't have this ability, how would you be? Who would you be? Now, many have the ability, but then to also have the availability. And I don't just mean that in a time fashion. I mean that in a interest fashion, a commitment fashion. All of you, most of our community, does have the grace of the ability to learn and the availability to learn. Keep that close to you, especially as we complete this semester of Meaningful Mornings, we complete this chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I'm checking in with all of you. Can you hear me and see me clearly? No disruption. Black Friday is coming up. I know it's May, but most of you are in America, so Black Friday is a significant day of the year for many. If you can visualize Black Friday in person, you go into this mall, into this store, and there's so much, and there's so many. What is your plan then? Just to take one significant major purchase and leave for your physical and mental safety and financial safety too. And you can relate to this, and I'm sharing this with you because already in chapter 13, what has been shared is broad and deep content. And often we don't know what to do with this content. And this is where I'm encouraging you, just like you hold on to that one video game or that one suit or that one phone and you leave, hold on to one message. Hold on to your message and work from there. It could be, if we just referred to yesterday, Shakambari, that the rains, that the seeds are our mother. Dwa, Suparna. There is a higher aspect of us and a lower aspect. The military jet escort, that's what our guide is doing for us. Yesterday I interacted with the seeker And she was telling me how when she loses it with her kids, she doesn't know what to do. And I shared with her, losing it with your kids, any vice doesn't work. And even before I'd finished that, she reacted by sharing, yes, it makes it worse. And so then I told her, imagine you have a kurti. She was wearing a kurti that's too big. It doesn't fit, so what do? You donate it. You give it away. It doesn't work for you, correct? So in the same way, if vices don't work for you, give them away. Renounce them. Being overwhelmed doesn't work. For you, for me, for anyone. In verse 0, Prince Arjuna asks 6 questions. What is Prakriti? What is Purusha? What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Jnana? What is Neya? In verse 1, Shri Krishna shares, the Kshetra is the equipments. These equipments facilitate experiences. If you didn't have a body right now, you wouldn't be able to eat breakfast. The equipment facilitates the experiences. In the same verse, Sri Krishna shares, the Kshetrajna is the ego. It is the ego that facilitates the equipment. That is a really awesome connection. However, in verse 2, Shri Krishna becomes more deep with us and shares, actually, the Kshetrajna is existence. Existence as if facilitates the ego, which facilitates the equipments, which facilitates the experiences. What facilitates existence? Nothing. Existence is the fundamental, the independent. And Shri Krishna also shares that jnana, what is knowledge? What is SQ, spiritual intelligence? Knowing there's a difference between object and the subject. There's a difference between experiences, equipments, ego, and existence. The way I shared this yesterday was, knowledge begins with, I am the knower. Knowledge ends with what spirituality is. He is the knower. Yes? Now connect this back to chapter 12. The verb that is to be embraced in chapter 12 is surrender. Shri Krishna shares, you have to prep to surrender. That was all of the values. And if you are prepped, now you will execute that surrender, that you are not the knower. He is the knower. In verse 3, Shri Krishna elaborates, the Kshetra has the nature of vikara. The field is ever changing. For those who play at sports in a competitive way, the field is very important to determine the winner, correct? The sun is shining in my eyes, not in yours, or the ball is hard right now and then it becomes soft. Those are important factors. The field is always changing. The Kshetrajna is of the nature of prabha, Prabha means glories. Prabha means to shine. Prabha means awareness. Now the deduction for us is, would you invest in that which is ever changing or that which is never changing? Where would you build? On unstable ground or stable ground? So the extraction from verse 3 is, change what you're investing in from the changing to the changeless. You will feel more grounded, centered, aware. In verse 4, Shri Krishna shares, the rishis, using the Veda, teach about Brahma. This is not new to any of you. This is our trust triangle. The rishis are the guide, the Veda is the map, and divinity is Brahma. Shri Krishna is encouraging us to nishchita, not just know this intellectually, but to feel this. In the previous chapter, one of your values was nishchaya, to be determined, to be decisive. And now he's connecting that in this chapter. Nishchita, this virtue should lead you to knowing with confidence you are more. There's more to life. In the 5th verse, I'm about to chant this, Shri Krishna is sharing more about what you are not. Na iti. To try to disidentify from this. Mahabhutyahankaraha buddhir avyaktameva cha indriyani dashaikam cha pancha chendriya gocharaha. Joy. What aren't you? Mahabhutani, which means the rudimentary elements. The elements of space, air, fire, water, earth. And I'm saying rudimentary. That means in their primal form, even before they start to engage in combinations and permutation. Okay? So the elements. How do these elements combine and permutate into the ahankara? That is the ego, and buddhi, that is the intellect. Reflecting on this, what Sri Krishna is trying to share is that these elements make up our inner world. Our andakarana, or inner doer, is the ego and intellect, mind and memory. So he's picked 2 of these thus far. And then avyakta, that is our unconscious personality. In Sanskrit, that is the vasanas. The vasanas facilitate how our ego, intellect, mind, memory will be, which facilitate how our outer doer will be, the breath, body, and soul. What are the vasanas, though? They're just elements in a causal way. Shri Krishna says, eva. Eva means only. That's all these are. For those who can see Pujya Swami Chinmayananda's BMI chart, it is everything that is under Om. Yes? What aren't you? Everything that is not Om. The second line, Indriyani Dasha the 10 sense organs. And then eka is used also, which means the 10 sense organs and the one. So now there's two ways to understand this. The one here is referring to the boss of the sense organs, that is the mind. So Shri Krishna in this verse has indicated the ego, intellect, and mind, so our inner world, and how our inner world engages with the outer world by organs of perception or input. Those are 5. Then my mind processes all of this. I like this, I don't like this. And then I have 4 organs of action, of output. So what is all of this? The elements. What are you not? The elements. So 10 plus 1, that's what happens, correct? You drink coffee, that's your input. You process this, then you output. And finally, pancha, that means 5, indriya gocharaha. We have sense organ, and each of these sense organs has a specific sense object that it facilitates or engages in. My eyes can't hear, my ears can't see. They have specific sense objects. So this can also be described as the experiences. So what are you not? 3 E's. You are not the ego. You are not the equipment. You are not the experiences. Shri Krishna uses another E to describe really this 3 as elements. They're causal, they're subtle, they're gross. When I know I'm not this, then it's easier for me to know the E I am, which is existence. Even the rudimentary primal elements are still created. Is existence created? If you say yes, with what? How? All of you who are thinking about this logically, when they spent $40 billion to build the airport in Hong Kong, there's so little land there, so they brought land. Who created that land? See, they displaced land, but they didn't create land. Yes? You can't create existence. One final reflection. What this verse and many verses like this is showing is that the devil is in the details. The more you know these details, the more you know, how can this be me? From inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to feel the rains are her tears, the vegetation are her body. How many of you tried this? You felt this yesterday? Great. The more you feel this, the more you feel loved. And so you naturally reciprocate this where you become more loving. Those who feel this is all our mother, how can you not love this? Your application for this morning, I hope you have realized that with the first verse of this chapter, we have now completed 70% of the verses of Bhagavad Gita. We've completed over 490 verses. We're about to complete 500. I want you to feel the truth of divinity is in the details. Really feel this. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.